and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Chrisley Kennedy, and this is a show where we bring you the day's biggest movie news, and of course we give you insight into what it all means. Joining me as always is AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Mr. John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the internet here, coming to you from the Stream.tv studios in Hollywood, California. We're so glad you decided to make us part of your day.
We also have joining us our AMC Movie News Editor, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Hey, hey, hey. Lovely to be here.
And the director of the upcoming film, The Death of Superman Lives. What happened, Mr. John Schnepp?
What's going on? Happy to be here and ready to talk about movies.
All right, guys, listen, before we go into our regular news thing, I want to remind you that on January the 2nd, our whole AMC Movie News crew, we are doing a 24-hour live streaming AMC Movie Talk marathon to raise money for the typhoon disaster relief in the Philippines. As many of you know, last week, the most powerful typhoon in recorded history hit that country. The devastation is just indescribable over there. And we, as a community of online film fans, can help. Now, right below me here, you see we've got a URL to www.crowdrise.com/AMC Movie News Philippines. And if you want, look in the description of this video and you'll find a link to just click. It'll take you right there. Click the Donate Now button and actually put some of your money to doing something really, really good. We've already raised over $6,000. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to join us on January 2nd and go give.
Well, it was a busy day yesterday because no less than 3 major trailers hit the web. First up is the first teaser trailer for The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, a sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, set to hit AMC theaters on July 11th, and stars Andy Serkis, Jason Clarke, Gary Oldman, and Carrey Russell. The second new trailer comes from the upcoming new Kevin Costner action thriller, 3 Days to Kill, also starring Amber Heard and Haley Steinfeld. That hits AMC theaters on February 21st, in which Costner is a dangerous international spy who is determined to give up his high-stakes life to finally build a closer relationship with his estranged wife and daughter, whom he's previously kept at arm's length to keep out of danger. But first, he must complete one last mission. Lastly is the first trailer for the new Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler comedy, Blended, opening in AMC theaters on May 23rd. After a disastrous blind date, single parents Lauren, played by Barrymore, and Jim, played by Sandler, agree on only one thing: they never want to see each other again. But when they each sign up separately for a fabulous family vacation with their kids, they are all stuck sharing a suite at a luxurious African safari resort for a week. Gosh, I wonder if they fall in love and up together at the end. John, what do you think of these trailers, and which one stood out to you as the best?
I'm not a big fan of the Blended trailer.
Come on, you love it.
I'll be honest with you. I wanted to love it. But I'm not feeling it. Although it doesn't feel as bad as the abominations that Adam Sandler has been giving us in the last couple of years.
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill and Grown Ups, and I mean, she's just been cranking out such crap. But this one looks a lot better than that. And I always have liked the chemistry between Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. As a matter of fact, I like the movies they've done together so far. So I've got a lot of hope for this. And so even though I'm not really big on the trailer right now, I still have hope for this film, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. The big surprise to me was the 3 Days to Kill trailer. I'm going to tell you, I love this trailer. I thought it was great, and I love seeing Kevin Costner kind of as a badass. I think I love the feel to it. Look, it's nothing that we haven't seen before in one shape or another, but to me, had a really nice feel, felt really good. But the best trailer out of this bunch is The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And this is a great example of what a teaser trailer should be. Yep. It doesn't give us much, but it kind of lays out, here's what the movie's about, giving us a glimpse of Caesar, getting a sense of the tension. We understand the human situation going in, so it kind of gives us what the movie's about, shows us some really cool stuff, and then gives us a shot of Caesar without giving us too much. All the things that the Interstellar teaser didn't give us. I mean, I really, really do like this teaser. So for me, the best of the bunch is the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. What about you?
I loved The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes as well. Gary Oldman is just as good as it gets. I'm so happy that Carrey Russell is getting some more, because The Waitress, a lot of people haven't seen that film.
She's so
and she
good
was
in
phenomenal
Waitress.
in that movie. And even Felicity, like, she's got a lot of talent, and that horror movie that didn't take off, like, I'm glad that people are taking, and you know, the first film was a big surprise to me. I really liked it a lot, and it was powerful, and this trailer was it was shot really dark and cool, and Gary Oldman's voice over the projector, and Caesar looking fierce, and I loved that trailer. I thought it was great. Blended, no. No. I love Drew Barrymore still. I mean, she's made some bad movies. Adam Sandler, we know he's made some bad movies. And I mean, The Wedding Singer was a classic. And
Yeah.
even 50 First Dates I thought was pretty charming. But this film just looks pretty awful. I don't have high hopes for it. I
I'm
have low
maintaining
hopes.
hope for it.
Good
I
for you,
still have
John.
hope for it.
You,
Snap.
you live on that hope. Can I talk about 3 Days to
Oh,
Kill
I
first?
thought you were
You
having
just
the
love
soy.
to cut me off.
I like to keep things moving.
Yeah, 3 Days to Kill I thought looked great. I don't like that his name is Ethan. We already have a International Spy series, but Amber Heard has never looked more gorgeous, and I like Kevin Costner taking on the Liam Neeson role.
Right.
So yeah, I think that looks really fun. So we'll see.
So I'm going to use the analogy of the porridge with the bears. You have like one is too hot, one is too cold, one is just right.
Right.
Which one is just right? I think the Planet of the Apes is an incredible trailer, a great teaser, and just gave me goosebumps at the end. That like
Yeah.
slow push in on
Oh.
Caesar.
So good.
And just
With
the-
his arm up.
Yeah,
Oh.
just ready for the apes all jumping freeze frame. I want that last frame as a poster. All those apes all
Yeah.
jumping. And also, to use that with to put it against the trailer for Godzilla, they used similar shots of chaos, but with a voiceover really helps. So
It does.
I did eventually see the Godzilla trailer in the theater with The Hobbit, and I'm not going to backpedal, but it wasn't as bad as when I saw it on a tiny screen. So the new Godzilla trailer has a giant epic feel to it, as long as you're in a giant theater. But so that one I really liked. Blended, I'd love to go on vacation for like 5 months in Africa. I think Drew Barrymore is a great actress. And so moving on, the 3 Days to Kill was the medium one for me, where it was just sort of like, it looks like a great action film. I love Kevin Costner. I like that he's playing this kind of role. I just don't buy, I'm kind of tired of these movies where it's an assassin who's like, I just blow people away, and yet I have this family that doesn't, then the wife's like, when are you gonna give this thing up? Like, you mean murdering people in cold blood for money? It just seems so unreal to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure there are assassins in this world, but it just, does it have to be this formulaic, cliche kind of like, I just need more time with my family. Plunk, plunk, plunk. Be quiet, I'm trying to spend time with my daughter. Plunk, it's just goofy to me. So,
And then the drug, like the crank style, that's the one part that took me out of it a little bit.
But I'm a sucker for Amber Heard, so all those
yeah.
moments.
I'm glad you
yeah.
mentioned that. I was going to say none of us. I think she looks pretty good in this.
She-
Actually, I really like
And she
Amber
could
Heard.
play a cold-hearted, evil, blonde assassin chick who's
I'm
in
in.
control. I'm in. But that's just the robotic part of me taking over. So, I don't know. 3 Days to Kill is medium. Maybe I'll see it, maybe not.
And I love
All
Haley
right.
Steinfeld. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great actress. So.
All right. What's next?
According to reports, Warner Brothers is moving forward with developing a feature film version of the iconic TV show Gilligan's Island. Actor Josh Gad will write and star in the film, although it hasn't been confirmed which role he'll play. Gad most recently starred in the NBC comedy 1600 Penn, which was canceled after half a season, and of course, Disney's Frozen. Amy Rose, buy or sell, WB bringing us a Gilligan's Island movie.
Buy or sell, eh?
Oh.
I
Sorry about
definitely
that.
don't think this film is necessary, is what it comes down to. I mean, that series was great, sure, but I don't need to see this. The only Abandoned on an Island show that I needed to watch was Lost. And that was epic and definitely a different premise. Are they going to make this a comedy? Are they going to not make this a comedy? Is it really going to be true to the series? It was a classic. Look at that. It's great. But this is a film that I just really don't think needs to be made. So I can't say that my interest is very high. Maybe it will turn. I think Josh Gad actually has a lot of talent. So we can see, despite his TV show being canceled, which happens all the time, but I think he has talent. So we'll see what he does. But I can't say my initial interest is that high.
I gotta say, I completely disagree.
Good for you.
I'm really looking forward to Gilligan's. I think if any old TV show is poised to be made into a movie, a self-contained movie, then the story of Gilligan's Island is it, I think. Now, 2 years ago, I would have said the exact same thing you just said. Doesn't need to happen, this is gonna be done, blah, blah, blah. Exactly what I said about 21 Jump Street. And then 21 Jump Street came out and completely showed me that, no, you can do this. And this can be done excellent. If you have the right approach to it, it can be hilarious and whatnot. And so I think this is poised to be even better than 21 Jump Street. My one question mark, though, is Josh Gad. Because I thought 16 Penn was a horrendous show. I tried to watch about 3 episodes of it, and I just thought it was terrible.
I haven't even watched it.
And I think Gad was one of the showrunners on it, too. Not only the star of the show, but one of the showrunners. And it was just dreadful. Now, that's only one sample of what he can do. And I'm sure Warner Brothers has seen much more of what he can do and has a lot more faith in him. So I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm going to be optimistic about it. Jeanette?
Yeah, me too. Growing up, Gilligan's Island was one of my favorite shows as a kid. That and the Munsters. So, like, where's the big movie version of the Munsters, guys? But anyway, Bob Denver just passed away a few weeks ago, unfortunately. So, this isn't buy and sell, but I'm all for it. I'll see Gilligan's Island over a lot of these other kind of remakes. I'll give it a shot as long as it's not like Lost and done all serious. Gilligan's Island.
It better
and
be
there's
a
no
comedy.
comedy. It'd be like, what? And is Josh Gad going to play Skipper or Gilligan?
They don't know. They haven't specified.
Or maybe
Interesting.
gender. Let's switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up.
He does seem a little young to play Skipper.
Right.
But then again, he doesn't strike me as a Gilligan either. So we'll have to see how that works out. All right, folks. Well, listen, we've come to that part of the show for buy and sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Chris Lee's got a couple of other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down, and then Schnepp, Amy Rose, and I are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Chris Lee, what do we got?
A new poster for the upcoming comedy Neighbors has just hit the web. Seth Rogen, Zac Efron, and Rose Byrne lead the comedy about a young couple suffering from arrested development who are forced to live next to a fraternity house after the birth of their newborn baby. Schnepp, buy or sell this poster for Neighbors?
The movie looks fantastic. The trailer made me laugh. This poster is not doing anything for me. Zac Efron's got a weird shrimp foot. Like when you guys in Photoshop land, when you do another Photoshop poster, please try to make their legs line up, because it looks like Zac Efron's floating on a different plane. It's just me. It just bugs me. So sorry.
Amy Rose?
Yeah, I liked the first trailer that I saw as well, and I am looking forward to this film, but this poster I'm going to sell as well. Whenever I see the baby Bjorn, I think of Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover. So to me, that image has already been done, and I mean, this doesn't sell me, but I still am looking forward to the movie.
I have really liked the trailer so far, and I think you both are crazy. I think it's a great poster. I look at this poster, it kind of captures the essence of what the movie is to me, the little standoffish. I love the fact that he's got the baby hanging on front of him at the same time. Zac Efron's got that great douchebag face going on. I think I really like this poster, so for me it's going to be a buy.
He's also floating, though. Does he have force
I don't
powers?
think he's floating.
If you do a close-up, zoom in on that foot.
I can't believe we're having a discussion of zoom in on that
He's
foot.
got a baby shrimp
for you,
foot,
Schnepp.
and
Hold
it's like,
strong.
this is.
All right, we got to move on.
I'm
We
just
got to
saying,
move on.
man.
Lionsgate has set January 30th, 2015 as the release date for their new Olivia Wilde film, Lazarus. Lazarus follows a team of research students mapping the human brain accidentally kills one of their own. They unwittingly unlock a deadly force by reanimating their colleague. Fighting for their own lives, the team must contain their colleague in the lab before she is unleashed on the world. John, buy or sell the sounds of Lazarus?
I'm going to buy it. I don't think a lot of us are going to have an argument if I make the statement Olivia Wilde is probably in the top 10 most beautiful women in Hollywood right now. She's gorgeous and she's talented and she's delightful. Once again, this is kind of like 3 Days to Kill. I'm not hearing anything in this description that we haven't seen before. But that's okay. I mean, I like the sounds of it. It's the kind of movie that I think would appeal to me, and I like the talent attached. So for me, not super enthusiastic, but I'm going to give it a buy. Amy Rose?
Yeah, I'm about where you are. I'm not super enthusiastic. The premise is not completely original, but it does sound weird. I'm really into weird. I love the horror angle, kind of. And Olivia Wilde, she is such a babe. She's really talented, and when she's on screen, she just lights it up, and I'm happy to watch that again.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'll buy it just because it's called Lazarus, and they're using the reborn, like dying and coming back to life, as opposed to just Lazarus, and it's about something that has nothing to do with Lazarus. So I'll buy it. Olivia Wilde, once again, she's a great actress, up-and-coming actress. She's only been in a few movies. I thought she did a good job in Tron. She did a good job in that Snowfall film with Eric Bana, I believe. I can't remember what it was called, Snowblind, or it went to quick to video. So, but she did a great job in it. So. Yeah, wait and see. A year and a half, I'll check it out.
All right, folks. Well, listen, before we get to mailbag, Amy Rose and I and Chris Lee, we do a lot of celebrity interviews, and we meet with I've been doing it for years, and we meet with a lot of celebrities, so we don't really get starstruck that much. But once in a while, you get to sit down with somebody that I think, holy crap, I cannot believe I'm sitting here with this person. And I had an experience like that recently when I got to meet with Emma Thompson. Now, if you don't feel the genetic need to bend to one knee when you're in her presence, then you don't know a lot about film. She's one of the few actresses in history that's got like a trifecta. She was nominated for Academy Award for screenwriting. She's won an Academy Award for acting. In another year, she's one of the few actors or actresses in Oscar history to be nominated for 2 acting Academy Awards in the same year. I mean, she is royalty. Anyway, she's one of the stars of the new film, Saving Mr. Banks. And I had a chance recently to go and sit down and talk with her. And I want to share with you just a little segment of my conversation with Emma Thompson. Check it out. First of all, congratulations on the film. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Do me a favor, as you and John were talking about PL, and describe for me the Pamela you wanted us as the audience to get to know in this film.
Well, she was in fact 66 when she came over to do this stuff, and she was quite dumpy and quite sort of elderly looking, and there are pictures of her kind of folded up in her chair. Just Don DeGrady, one of the people she was working with, did sketches of her, and you can hear in her voice the beginning of the cracking of the vocal cords, that she was, you know, she was moving towards 70, and she had been quite ill all her life. But I thought, okay, so I said to John Lee, we can absolutely do that. We can do prosthetics, we can do padding, we can have an old elderly woman coming, and we can do that, and it would be very funny. But I thought, there's other things about this woman I want to cherry pick, because she divided the female life into nymph, that's the first section, the middle section is mother, and the last section is crone. And she liked the crone bit best, because she said that was the wise bit, that was when you'd let go of all that other stuff, sex, motherhood, etc. But I said, can't we keep a bit of the nymph, a bit of the mother in, put that in so that there is an elegance to her. She was very vain, she liked clothes, she liked good jewellery, she was a remarkable mixture of all sorts of things, and I thought it would be nice to make it clear that she had had an erotic life and a love life and a sex life that for some reason or other just got less and less and less as she got older, and then you understand why. So you're looking at someone who could have had that and didn't at that time. And I think that's what we really wanted to get, that there were doors that were still could have opened to things that we might consider to be desirable.
You can get your tickets right now for Saving Mr. Banks by going over to www.amctheaters.com for your theater, showtime, and movie ticket information. I really, really enjoyed this film. I think you will too. All right, folks, it's time for mailbag, but I'm going to want to let you know, for those of you who are watching us live, after we're done the mailbag questions, we're going to take a little bit of time and take your questions live from the chat board, so feel free to start throwing in some questions. For now, Chrisley's got a few messages pulled out of the mailbag, so Chrisley, what do we got?
Walt J. writes, my question is, whatever happened to the $6 Million Man big screen adaptation? Although I hated the Jim Carrey comedy direction it was taking, I still believe it could be a viable franchise. Even after seeing Will Smith in iRobot with the robotic arm, I feel that the SFX could work really well in the film, maybe even Will starring in it. However, I'm open to a somewhat serious film, no matter the actor, but I just think it's an opportunity wasted.
I gotta tell you, I differ from you on that. I actually liked the notion of the Jim Carrey $6 million. Look, if you're gonna do a $6 million thing, you gotta go comedy. And once again, to bring up the whole thing about 21 Jump Street, I think if they tried to do a serious 21 Jump Street, it would have been a train wreck. The fact that they went comedy just made it work, and it ended up being brilliant. I think something for like the $6 Million Man, you gotta go comedy. Because really, if you think about it, what could they do with a $6 Million Man, which obviously today would be the $6 billion man? Right. What could you do that isn't done 1,000 times? Oh, a man now has a robotic arm, so he can do everything. I mean, I just don't see it working being serious. I like the concept. Now, as far as where it is, I think it's dead. I think, and now I do believe that at some point we will see a film incarnation of $6 Million Man or $6 billion man, whatever. But I think the incarnation with Carrey, I believe that one is dead. I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but I don't think that one has any more legs, which is, to me, is unfortunate because I was kind of looking forward to it. Have you guys heard anything about it? Were you looking forward to it?
I haven't heard anything about it either, and yeah, I agree. I think Jim Carrey would have actually been a really good fit, and he has now proven that he's not just slapstick comedy. He's got a lot of range and depth as well, so I think he could have brought a lot to that character. But yeah, I haven't heard anything in a long time, so I would assume it's dead as well. Have you heard anything?
I was looking forward to a comedy version, because even as a kid, the $6 Million Man, though I watched it, it never made sense to me. Like the it's all in slow motion. Like he's running really fast, but they'd show everything in slow motion. Like when I wanted to see it all fast, you know, like he's running really fast, show him fast. And doesn't he only have one robot leg? Wouldn't he just be like hopping all weird? Like what about the other leg? It should be braking under these like incredible conditions of speed. So anyway, it never made sense to me. And even a $6 million man built nowadays with our health racket, it would be like, oh, here's like a metallic twig that you could put in your mouth. You know, it's like there's nothing bionic about you. Get out of here. You know what I mean? I don't see how $6 million would buy anything bionic, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe like a toe. A $6 million
That'd be pretty
toe.
dope.
Yeah, $6 billion man, you could actually have some fun with that. You know, retitle it, make it a weird action film. Like, we put all this money into this super cyborg and he escaped or whatever. There's a million different things to do with $6 billion. I don't know.
All right, what's next?
Harry Green writes, so I just saw The Hobbit and wow, wow, wow. This was the best out of the 5 Middle-earth films. Now my question is, could we expect to see Benedict Cumberbatch get nominated for his role as Smaug? I don't believe I've ever heard of an actor being nominated for playing a CGI character, but he is a character nonetheless, and Smaug was badass in this one. Anyhow, this is my #1 film of the year. It beat out Man of Steel. Keep up the great show, and I look forward to the 24-hour movie-thon.
Amy Rose?
No, he's not going to be nominated, but I agree that Smaug, I mean, Benedict, all the anticipation of seeing this character on the big screen, and it did not disappoint for me. I thought everything about it, the depth, the complexity of the actual dragon, his voice, step into the light, I mean, it was amazing. I loved that. And we talked about this, like, I absolutely love that film as well. I would still rank the Lord of the Rings trilogy above that, just because of the company and the characters, but I think this one far surpasses the first Hobbit film, and the pace was spectacular and the effects and everything, but Smaug was so amazing. And, you know, I'm actually glad that we didn't see the entire desolation in the first film, because I am looking forward to seeing him again in the next film.
Right.
But no, there's so many strong performances. He might get a little nod, but he's not going to be nominated. But I think that would be kind of a really cool thing to start a category, because we're seeing that a lot more now with, you know, Andy Serkis and all these other characters. So I think that would be kind of cool, because that is kind of stretching what we know between acting and CGI and all of that. And yeah, and talk about Scarlett Johansson and Her. I keep hearing amazing things. I'm seeing it today finally. But maybe they'll start a new category. You never know. But yeah, I thought he was the perfect person to embody this badass dragon.
Yeah, no, he won't get an Academy Award nomination, nor should he.
No.
Now, that's not because it's a CG character. I actually made several editorial videos making a case and making an argument that Andy Serkis should have been nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his work in Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Amazing.
The difference between what Andy Serkis did in, say, Lord of the Rings and Rise of the Planet of the Apes and what Benedict Cumberbatch did in The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, is that with everything you saw in Caesar, in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, that was all Andy Serkis. The movements, the motion, the facial expressions, the way he walked, that was Andy Serkis. For all intents and purposes, all right? The digital Caesar was just wardrobe that they put on, like any wardrobe artist would take and put on the actress. The digital manifestation of Caesar was really just a digital wardrobe put on Andy Serkis, but everything you saw was Andy Serkis. And so that whole physical performance and all that kind of stuff, that was all part and parcel with the performance. Thus, I made the argument, I thought he should have been nominated for Academy Award. I really thought it was that good. And while Benedict Cumberbatch does more than just the voice, he does a lot of the facial stuff, whatever, a lot of what you see is just the animators doing Smaug. I mean, and that's really what it is. It's not the same situation as just a digital wardrobe change. It's really a different situation. So for that reason, no, he won't be nominated for Academy Award, and no, he shouldn't be, really, because it wasn't really his performance per se, although he does a magnificent job for what he's called upon to do. Just awesome. You won't hear me complain about one thing about what Benedict did in that movie. Sounds awesome, but it's a different level.
He did motion capture, but it's different
It's
because
a very small, not the whole motion capture.
it's
though.
different.
Schnepp?
Yeah, he's not a dragon. So I mean,
Wait,
they had him hobbling around on
Mind
sticks.
blown.
Sorry. Yeah, he's not going to get an Oscar nom, but they should introduce a voiceover Oscar
don't you
nomination.
think?
I mean, there's so many animated movies now. Frozen. You have all these different films, at least 15 that are in the mix now for best animated feature film. Why not give the actors who are blending their voices to these animated films a chance to win an Oscar?
Because it's a talent. It really is.
And Cumberbatch did an incredible job as Smaug. You know, it's like I didn't chime in with you guys about the Hobbit thing. I felt it went on a little bit too long. Him like not killing hobbits. You know, whatever. I loved the middle Hobbit movie. I still like the first Hobbit movie better.
Really?
Yeah, I
Huh.
just felt this one dragged a little bit, especially towards the end. And with, you know, the dwarves riding on molten gold. We talked about this. I was like, how come they're not burning? What, is there some special dwarf power that they don't, molten gold doesn't affect them? Anyway, guys, yeah, no nomination. I don't think so for this. But he did a great job. Benedict Cumberbatch really can't do any wrong, really.
No,
So.
Yeah.
he's the man.
All right, folks, we're going to take just a little bit of time here to address some of the questions you guys have been putting in on the chat board. I'm just going to fly through these rapid fire style so we can get to as many of them as we possibly can because we've only got a few minutes left. The first question I got pulled out here from the chat board is from Yassine Hashim. I am the world's worst name pronouncer. Let's just get that out of the way. So Yassine Hashim writes, hey, MC, I love your show, and I need to know if the rumors are true that Justin Bieber will replace Paul Walker in Fast 7. Absolutely not. There is no truth to that. No. Don't believe anything you hear, but that's just some rumor somebody started to get everybody's attention. Not true whatsoever. Mr. Nice Guy 80x5 writes, whatever happened with the Teen Titans movie? There never was a Teen Titans movie. I mean, every single story in recorded history at some point has some studio executives talk about it, and Teen Titans was at that point like everything else in the world, but there was never any serious movement on a Teen Titans movie. I don't think there ever should be one. That's just me personally. Andrew Liu writes, what role would you think Wonder Woman will have in the Batman vs. Superman movie? If they're smart, very small. And I'm not even saying that because I don't like the casting of Gal Gadot. It doesn't matter if you have the world's greatest actress in there. I would still say small. I think the focus of this movie needs to be on Batman and Superman. Give small roles, maybe even cameos, maybe even last scenes of the movie to the other characters. But I really think and hope Batman vs. Superman needs to focus
I hope it's still
on Batman
Superman's
and Superman.
film,
Yeah.
number one.
Victor Carpenter writes, has there been any new info for the upcoming movie Ant-Man? No, not yet. Really, nothing much has come out. I think, I got a feeling that shortly after the new year, we're going to hear a tidal wave of all new information. I wouldn't doubt it, actually, if by January 15th, we actually get an official announcement about who will be playing Ant-Man. And like I said before, I believe they've had Ant-Man cast for months. I think they've got their Ant-Man already. I think they've had their own Ant-Man for months. They're just going to announce it very soon. Travis John writes, I've heard that the ending act of Anchorman is, or I'm going to assume you mean Anchorman 2, is terrible from some and great from the others. Have you seen it, and what are your thoughts? Well, as a matter of fact, Dennis Zen and I are going to be doing an AMC Spoilers review of Anchorman 2 later, but I'll give you a little hint. It's really funny, and you'll hear our spoiler review a little bit later today. Cadre Smith writes, hey AMC, I was wondering what companies are currently trying to buy movie rights for the different heroes from Warner Brothers. None, because Warner Brothers isn't going to talk to anybody about selling their rights. They're not going to make the same mistake that Marvel's studio did back in the 80s. They're going to keep all their properties nicely tucked away on their shelf in case they want to use them later. They're not going to get in the same situation with Marvel not having rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men and Spider-Man. They never want to be in that boat, so nobody. The last one we're going to do today is from Connor Quinn. And Connor Quinn is asking, with Flash possibly getting his own TV show, does that lessen the chances of a Flash movie? Now, of course, Flash was just introduced on the Arrow TV show. They're going to hopefully try to spin that off into a show of its own, but nothing says that that's actually going to happen. But if it does, the question is, does that do anything to the chances of a Flash movie? No, because I believe Warner Brothers and DC are going to completely keep their TV universe and their movie universe separate. So you can have a Flash in a TV show. It won't affect the chances of a Flash movie because it'll be a different Flash. So we'll see where that goes from there. All right, folks. That'll do it. We have run out of time. It is 11:30 on the nose. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, listen, before I do anything else, I want to remind you, January 2nd is our 24-hour AMC Movie Talk live streaming marathon with me and the whole AMC Movie News crew, raising money for this link you see down here, crowdrise.com/AMC Movie News Philippines. Check the video description. There's a link there. Click on that. Let's not just be a bunch of useless, sweaty movie nerds. Let's use our sweatiness for good. Click on that link. Click donate now. and actually save some kid's life. So help us do that. Thank you to you guys who have already donated. You guys are making a huge difference. I want to thank those sitting at the table with me. First of all, AMC Movie News editor Amy Rose Eisenbach. Amy Rose, where can people find you online?
On Twitter at Amy Rosie, and I won't see you again till after the holidays and New Year, so happy holidays and New Year to you. Miss ya.
Writer-director, the one and the only Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at John Schnepp. And January 2nd, I'm going to be drawing a bunch of different characters from all the different cartoon shows and movies that I've worked on.
Awesome.
And I'll be auctioning them off. So I'll be drawing them live, and then all you sweaties out there get to bid on that stuff and help out.
That's
So
awesome.
That's
Zach.
awesome.
I love that.
That's a great idea. I would do that, except I can't draw. And of course, sitting over in her corner, that is all hers, her little kingdom, Miss Chrisley Kennedy. Chrisley, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Chrisley and on Tumblr, The Movie Chick.
And you can find me on the various social media networks just at John Campia. And this is a good time to let you guys know that Friday will be the last AMC Movie Talk episode because we're going to take, or for the year, because we are taking Christmas off. Now, during that 2-week period, I will be doing some solo videos, so keep checking AMC Theaters YouTube page. We will be putting up some videos, but the regular AMC Movie Talk this Friday will be our last episode until the new year. Just wanted to give you guys the heads up. So once again, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name is John Campia for AMC Movie News. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, bye-bye.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.